Do you believe that there are places on this planet where your very soul feels a sudden, inexplicable chill? Places where the laws of nature seem to bend, and your survival instinct screams at you to turn back before it's too late. From the suffocating silence of the suicide forest in Japan to the bone-chilling death zone on the peak of Everest, we are about to embark on a journey through the 10 most terrifying locations known to man. These are not just tourist spots. They are environments that challenge the very limits of human courage. Statistics show that 90% of viewers will not be able to sit through this entire list without feeling a sense of dread. Before we begin, please leave a comment letting us know where you are watching this video from and what time it is on your clock right now. We truly want to see how many countries this video has reached across the globe. Now, take a deep breath. Are you part of the 10% who can make it to the end? Let us find out. We begin our journey in the heart of Paris at the Père Lachaise Cemetery. Covering over 44 hectares, this is not just a resting place for the elite, but a labyrinth of stone and shadow where over 1 million souls reside. Founded by Napoleon in 1804, its grand Gothic monuments and winding, moss-covered paths create an atmosphere of heavy, silent history. But behind its architectural beauty lies a phenomenon that many cannot explain. Visitors often report a sudden drop in temperature, even in the height of summer, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched from behind the ornate mausoleums. One of the most documented areas is near the tomb of rock legend Jim Morrison, where security guards have frequently encountered shadowy figures and heard whispers that vanish into the mist, while skeptics point to the shifting winds and the natural echoes of the stone. The sheer density of human history here leaves a weight on the chest of anyone who enters. It is a place where the line between the past and the present feels exceptionally thin, making it the perfect first step into the unknown. Leaving the silent graves of Paris, we travel to the rugged landscape of Transylvania, Romania, to stand before the imposing silhouette of Bran Castle. Perched high on a dramatic cliffside, this 14th century fortress is known globally as Dracula-Ass Castle, while its connection to Bram Stoker's fictional Count is a point of debate. Its link to the historical Vlad Tepes, or Vlad the Impaler, is far more visceral. Vlad was a ruler known for his terrifying methods of execution, and history suggests he may have been imprisoned within these very walls. Inside, the air grows thick as you navigate a complex labyrinth of narrow staircases and secret stone passages. These corridors were designed with a deliberate, suffocating tightness to disorient and trap intruders. Even today, tourists and staff often report the faint, metallic scent of iron and the sound of footsteps echoing in rooms that should be empty. It is not just the legend of the vampire that haunts this place. It is the architectural manifestation of medieval fear and the brutal reality of the men who once ruled here. As you descend into its lower chambers, the weight of centuries of dark history is impossible to ignore. Imagine a bridge where every step you take is a direct gamble with gravity. Welcome to the Husseini Hanging Bridge in northern Pakistan, often cited as the most dangerous bridge on the planet. From a distance, it looks like a fragile spiderweb stretched across the violent turquoise waters of the Borat Lake. But as you approach, the reality is far more terrifying. This is not a modern engineering marvel. It is a precarious skeleton of weathered ropes and thin, rotting wooden planks, many of which are missing or spaced so far apart that a single misstep would send you plunging into the icy torrents below. The climax of the experience comes when the fierce winds of the Karakoram Range begin to howl. The entire structure starts to sway violently, and the rhythmic creak of the straining ropes is the only sound you hear over the rushing water. There are no handrails, no safety nets, only your grip and your balance. Here is a fascinating fact to consider. Despite its lethal appearance, this bridge is a vital lifeline. For decades, local villagers, including young children carrying heavy loads, have crossed this bridge daily as their only way to reach nearby towns. What we see as a nightmare of adrenaline is, for them, a routine part of survival. It makes you wonder, is it the height that terrifies us, or the realization of how fragile our connection to solid ground really is? If you were standing in the middle of that swaying bridge right now, would you have the nerve to look down? From the heights of Pakistan, we descend into the murky, stagnant canals of Xochimilco, Mexico, to find an island that seems to have been plucked from a fever dream. Imagine being surrounded by thousands of unblinking eyes, watching your every move through layers of dirt and decay. This is Isla de las Muñecas, the island of the dolls. Here the trees don't bear fruit. They bear the severed limbs and hollowed-out heads of old. Weather-beaten dolls, hanging like macabre ornaments in the humid air. The tension peaks when you realize the history behind this silent audience. Legend has it that the island's sole caretaker, Don Julian Santana Barrera, found the body of a drowned girl in the canal decades ago. Haunted by her spirit, he began collecting discarded dolls to appease her, believing they could protect him from the darkness. For 50 years, he transformed this small patch of land into a shrine of plastic and rot. Here is the chilling fact that even skeptics find hard to ignore. In 2001, after decades of living in isolation, Don Julian was found dead, drowned in the exact same spot where he claimed to have found the little girl all those years before. Locals swear that at night, the dolls whisper to each other and move their heads in unison. It raises a disturbing question. Is the island haunted by a restless spirit? Or did one man's obsession create a psychological trap that eventually claimed his life? If you had to spend a single night alone on this island, could you keep your eyes closed, knowing thousands of others are wide open? We cross the Atlantic to the chilling, fog-covered waters of the San Francisco Bay, where a jagged rock rises like a warning sign. This is Alcatraz the Rock. For 29 years, this was the final destination for America's most dangerous criminals. A place designed not just to hold the body, but to break the spirit. Surrounded by freezing currents and predatory sharks, it was deemed the only inescapable fortress in the world. The climax of the Alcatraz experience isn't found in its history of violence, but in its silence. Step into the hole, the dark isolation cells where prisoners were kept in total sensory deprivation for weeks. In the pitch black, men would lose track of time, light, and eventually, their own sanity. The psychological weight of being so close to the vibrant city of San Francisco. Hearing the distant music and laughter from the shore while trapped in a stone cage was the ultimate torture. But here is the fascinating fact that still puzzles investigators today. In 1962, 3 men managed to do the impossible, using only sharpened spoons and a raft made of raincoats. They vanished into the bay. While the FBI officially declared them drowned, their bodies were never found, and mysterious postcards continued to arrive at their families' homes for years. Alcatraz remains a monument to the human desire for freedom at any cost. It stands as a reminder that the strongest walls are often the ones we build in our minds. If you were locked in a cell where you could see your home but never reach it, how long do you think your mind would hold on? From the iron bars of Alcatraz, we travel to the serene, mist-filled landscapes of West Dunbartonshire, Scotland. At first glance, the Overtoun Bridge appears to be a beautiful piece of Victorian architecture. But for decades, this picturesque spot has hidden a dark and inexplicable secret that has earned it a terrifying nickname: the Dog Suicide Bridge. There is something about this specific structure that compels animals to behave in ways that defy all biological logic. The climax of this mystery is as tragic as it is baffling. Since the 1950s, more than 600 dogs have suddenly, and without warning, leaped off the side of the bridge, falling 50 feet onto the jagged rocks below. Even more chilling is that many dogs who survived the initial fall have been known to climb back up and jump a second time from the exact same spot. Scientists have searched for answers, proposing that the scent of minks nesting below drives the dogs into a frenzy. But locals believe in something far more ancient. They call it a thin place, a spot where the veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead is so thin that animals, with their heightened senses, become overwhelmed by what lies on the other side. Here is a fascinating fact. The phenomenon is so persistent that local authorities have actually erected signs warning dog owners to keep their pets on a short lead while crossing. It is perhaps the only bridge in the world with a caution sign for the supernatural. It leaves us with a haunting thought. Do animals see something we don't? Or is there a frequency in this place that strikes a chord of madness? If your pet refused to cross a path, would you trust their instinct, or would you keep walking? What if I told you that there is a place on Earth where you can travel 2 kilometers straight down into the darkness, into a world where the sun has never reached? Welcome to the Krubra Cave in Georgia, the Everest of the Abyss. This is the deepest known cave system on our planet, a vertical labyrinth of jagged limestone and freezing water that plunges over 2,197 meters into the crust of the Earth. The climax of this journey isn't just the depth, but the absolute, crushing isolation. As explorers descend, the air pressure changes, the temperature drops to near freezing, and the silence becomes so heavy it feels physical. At these depths, you aren't just exploring a cave. You are entering a void where any mistake means rescue is days, if not weeks, away. One of the most terrifying segments is known as the sump underwater tunnels that divers must swim through in total darkness, with only a thin guide wire between them and a labyrinthine death. Here is a fascinating fact that borders on the alien. Despite the extreme pressure and lack of light, life still finds a way. Scientists have discovered a species of wingless insects living at the very bottom. Completely blind and translucent, thriving in conditions that would kill almost any other creature on Earth. It is a reminder that we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the world beneath our feet. Krubra reminds us that the most alien environments aren't always in outer space. Sometimes they are right beneath us. Would you have the mental strength to crawl through a tunnel narrower than your shoulders, knowing there are 2 kilometers of solid rock above you? From the natural depths of the Earth, we move to a monument of human error. Imagine a city where 50,000 people lived, worked, and played, only to vanish in less than 36 hours, leaving everything behind. This is Pripyat, Ukraine, a city frozen in April 1986, following the catastrophic explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Today, it stands as a haunting urban skeleton, where nature is slowly reclaiming the concrete remains of a lost Soviet dream. The climax of Pripyat is the overwhelming sense of frozen time. As you walk through the abandoned nurseries, you see tiny shoes scattered on the floor and dolls left on rusted beds, their plastic faces peeling from radiation and decay. The famous yellow Ferris wheel in the city center, intended to open for the May Day celebrations that never came, stands as a silent, rusting sentinel. But the true terror here is invisible. Your Geiger counter becomes the only sense you can trust. Its frantic clicking warns you of hotspots, pockets of soil or debris, where lethal radiation levels remain hundreds of times higher than normal, even decades later. Here is a fascinating fact that illustrates the strange resilience of life. In the absence of humans, Pripyat has become an accidental wildlife sanctuary. Wolves, boars, and even rare Przewalski's horses now roam the desolate streets and sleep in abandoned apartments. Without us, the dead zone has become more alive than it was before the disaster. Pripyat is a stark reminder of how quickly our world can end, and how quietly nature takes it back. If you were given a lead suit and 10 minutes to explore any building in this city, would you take the risk to see what is left inside? Or is the invisible danger too much to handle? We move from the radioactive ruins of Ukraine to the foot of Mount Fuji in Japan, where a forest grows so thick that the wind itself seems to lose its way. This is Aokigahara, known to the world by a much darker name, the Suicide Forest. It is a place of haunting beauty, where ancient trees grow over twisted volcanic rock. But beneath the greenery lies a silence so absolute that it is said to drive the mind toward its darkest corners, The climax of Aokigahara isn't found in what you see, but in what you lose. Because of the high iron content in the volcanic soil, magnetic compasses often malfunction here, and GPS signals frequently disappear. It is terrifyingly easy to lose the trail. And once you do, every direction looks identical. The forest floor is a chaotic web of roots and moss that muffles all sound, meaning a person could be standing just 20 feet away and you would never hear them. It is this sensory isolation, combined with the forest's tragic history, that creates an atmosphere of overwhelming despair for decades. Local authorities have conducted annual sweeps to recover the remains of those who chose this forest as their final resting place, leaving behind only tattered ribbons tied to trees, pitiful markers of people trying to find their way back, but failing. Here is a fascinating fact that reflects the Japanese culture of respect. Scattered throughout the forest entrance are numerous signs placed by the government, not warning of danger, but pleading with visitors to think of their families and to reach out for help. It is perhaps the only forest in the world where the trees are used as billboards for the value of human life. Aokigahara is a place where nature and human tragedy are inextricably linked. Do you believe that a place can absorb the emotions of those who have suffered there? Or is it simply the silence of the woods playing tricks on our minds? We conclude our journey at the highest point on Earth, a place so hostile to life that it is literally named the Death Zone, above 8,000 meters on Mount Everest. The atmospheric pressure is so low that there is not enough oxygen for humans to breathe. Here, the body begins to die, cell by cell, and every second spent in this frozen wasteland is a countdown against your own mortality. The true horror of the death zone isn't the cold or the wind, it is the moral and physical paralysis. At this altitude, the brain is starved of oxygen, leading to hallucinations and a loss of basic logic. The climax of this terror is the Rainbow Valley, a section of the trail named not for its beauty, but for the brightly colored down jackets of the climbers who perished there and remain perfectly preserved by the ice. Because it is physically impossible to carry a body down from such heights without risking more lives, these fallen adventurers have become grim, permanent trail markers for those still climbing. You are forced to step over the ghosts of the past just to reach the summit. Here is a fact that will change how you see this mountain. The most famous marker was a climber known as Green Boots, who sat in a limestone cave for nearly 20 years. Every climber heading to the top had to walk past him, his neon boots a silent, frozen reminder of the mountain's absolute power. The death zone is a place where human ambition meets its ultimate limit. It forces us to ask, is the view from the top worth the price of never coming home? After seeing these 10 locations, which one do you think is the true definition of hell on earth? From the silent whispers of Aokigahara to the frozen ghosts of Everest, we traveled through 10 of the most haunting locations our world has to offer. Each of these places serves as a powerful reminder of how small we are in the face of nature, history, and the unknown. But now, the journey continues with you. Which of these locations gave you the biggest chills? Would you ever dare to visit one of them? Or are you like me, perfectly happy watching them from the safety of a screen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dark tour of our planet, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Mr. Benz-Audi. Your support helps us bring more mysterious stories to light. Click the bell icon so you never miss our next adventure into the unknown. Thanks for watching, and stay curious. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The footage used in this video is sourced from open access materials and is utilized under the Fair Use Doctrine Section 107 of the Copyright Act. We do not claim ownership of all materials used. All rights belong to their respective owners.